This is a headline that I come to expect these days. Doctor Who star Ncuti Gatwa complains that white mediocrity is celebrated while black people struggle to get half that. Didn't you want your Doctor Who to twerk to kill aliens? Right. I mean, this is just brazen racism. There isn't anything other than that to say, obviously. We'll take a look at it, of course. But it is just brazen racism. And, you know, when we talk about white mediocrity, is there white mediocrity out there? Absolutely there is. Like, of course there is. You know? Absolutely, I'm sure there is. I wouldn't say it's celebrated. And I would go one step further to say that currently black mediocrity is celebrated. And I know that I'll cop some flack from that. So let me just establish what I mean. When you open up DEI initiatives which force a certain level of inclusion, you do see a degradation of sort of quality of candidates. You just do. That's basic logic. When you sort of shrink down your catchment pool, you're not getting the best of the best. You physically can't get the best of the best when you narrow those that you hire to just based on their skin colour. It's not how it works. So, you know, and DEI, I mean, it does stand for didn't earn it. You know, we are seeing that level of mediocrity coming through now. And it's, you know, it's there. It's an inarguable fact. Now, it's not to say that black people are mediocre. That's racist, and that's not what I'm saying. But are we seeing an abundance of mediocrity coming through now with DEI initiatives? Yes, 100% we are. And you would get it if it was solely, like literally any of the same sort of brackets that you're working within is DEI, right? Whether it be for black, whether it be for gays, whatever. That level of tunnel vision, it abandons meritocracy. So you only end up with mediocre. And yeah, you will see some people slip through the cracks that are like exceptional, of course. And they are there, absolutely. But you will have an abundance of mediocrity because meritocracy has been abandoned. So let's take a look at this. Hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. So Ncuti Gatwa, the first black Doctor Who, was extremely outspoken in a new interview. Just winning fans here, mate, aren't you? Just winning fans. So Gatwa is an LGBTQ Rwandan immigrant to the UK and made it. I'd love to see his background, to see whether he was given free housing and things like that, because that's what we do in the UK. We just give things away for free. We have a pretty huge sort of social care system at the moment, a benefit system. It's defrauding our country. And the taxpayers are having to foot the bill, literally just for parasites now. So I'd love to see whether he, you know, got things for free or not. Because if he did, this kind of commentary makes it even worse. Because you got your start in life with white people's generosity. So anyways, a Rwandan immigrant to the UK made his comments to the magazine Attitude for its May-June issue. Asked about the backlash on his assuming the role of Doctor Who, he said that it's all part of a shift, and he said the following: "We do see a shift happening in casting, in positions of power and in the status quo. I mean, not a fast shift, things could tip over the other way a little bit quicker, but you see people kind of malfunctioning because things are changing. But that's because we are a Western world. You know, you live in the West, you live in the UK, it is an Anglo-centric country, right? We are white predominantly. That's what we're supposed to be here, is what we were. The British populace was never, we never voted on having an abundance of illegal immigrants as well as asylum seekers, or, you know, we didn't. And actually in every single consecutive vote on policy-wise and politics for parties, every single time the British populace voted, it was to minimise and cut down on immigration, be it legal or illegal. So we weren't asked. So people malfunctioning and going, well, why is there so much of this? It is actually for good reason. We live in a democracy, or so we think. And so the ability to sit there and go, no, I wouldn't like this anymore. That's okay. Let's vote our way out of it. One should be allowed that. So Ncuti talks of his battle for acceptance. Says that, and this just as an FYI, right? Is that he's battling for acceptance? No, you're accepted. You are accepted. But just like straight people don't run around flopping their penis out and jamming it in vaginas, we don't really expect gay men to flaunt how LGBTQ they are either, right? It's just not, you know, almost becomes a fetish at that point. It's like voyeurism. You know, you're getting off on people watching you. It's just bizarre at a certain point. Also, bearing in mind, I don't think he would have had anywhere near the level of acceptance if he stayed in Rwanda. So not only did he get his start in life thanks to white people and their generosity and their kindness, he's now complaining that he's not accepted enough. I'm speechless. And he says, there's so much white mediocrity that gets celebrated. And black people, we have to be absolutely flawless to get half of that. Anyway, so I'm slowly training myself out of that and being like, no shit, you deserve love just for existing. These people are so incredibly narcissistic. I don't run around going, I deserve to be loved, I deserve this, I deserve that. Like, that's not it. Just work hard. Meritocracy generally works. It's not now, obviously. But it has worked over the years. So Gatwa was asked about the UK's struggle with gender diversity and trans identities. All of this, just as an FYI, is complete bollocks, what he's about to say. I live in the UK, I know. Everything trickles down from the top, and when you see politicians openly attacking marginalised communities, it's never happened. When you see our politicians openly attacking trans people, literally doesn't happen. You've got our politicians saying, yeah, trans women can be women, all this kind of nonsense, right? So no, this has never happened. It makes it okay for anyone else. And it is scary to see that we've got to a point where it is fine to attack vulnerable people. They're not vulnerable. Every single institution and political power backs them. You're not vulnerable. You're not. This is the status quo. Is protecting these people. You're an idiot. You absolute narcissistic tit. And it's scary to see we got to the point where it's fine to attack vulnerable people because that's essentially what's happening. No, it's not. People who are the most vulnerable, the most disenfranchised, the most disconnected from everyone else are being told that they are the threat. Well, I mean, statistically speaking, there is an issue at the moment. Right, there are issues in the institutions at large. I don't want to get into it too much. But this is just all nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It's talking utter shit. Way to win friends, Doctor Who. It's sick because it's a hiding away of your own ineptitude. You're going to put the blame on immigrants, black and brown people. Well, no, there is statistical data out there. I mean, look, it's just basic common sense. You cannot have, we're a tiny island, you cannot have an influx, a never-ending influx of immigrants, be them legal or illegal, into this tiny country where we do not build enough houses to function based on our own populace at the moment, right? Because we don't. We don't have enough houses for our own population at the moment. So no, you can firmly put a blame on illegal immigration, and it's not black people. It could be anyone, right? You know, we've got a bunch of bloody Albanians coming through. I mean, they're not black or brown, but they're an issue because you just keep coming into the country, gangs, warfare, all this kind of crap, crime, blah blah blah. You know, Turkish barbers popping up all over the place. I mean, it's just utter nonsense. So saying you're going to put the blame on immigrants, but you can put the blame on immigrants for a high element of things. We don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough dentists. Therefore, NHS placements for dentists and doctors become very, very sparse and sparing when, I don't know, you have a never-ending influx of parasites coming into the country. And there is a never-ending influx of parasites because you look at the statistical data and these people, a vast majority of them, actually never pay into the system. They just take because we have a benefit system that people like to abuse. Anyway, getting a little bit too political there, but this is all bollocks. To hide the fact that you're not doing anything for people. It's easier to just create discord amongst people. It's divide and conquer, isn't it? Yeah, but you're also dividing and conquering, you dickhead. We've got to keep pushing for more. I think you've had enough. Lots and lots and lots and lots more diversity. Literally, diversity to you just means more gays and more black people, doesn't it? That's incredibly racist. I think diversity should be diversity of thought. Diversity of upbringing. Not, well, you're brown, so you're diverse. That's just so racist. Lots more inclusion on our screen. Lots and lots and lots of it for all you male gammons out there. And they say this, in UK slang, the term gammon refers to the colour of a person's flushed face when expressing their strong opinions as compared to the type of pork of the same name. Yeah, so gammon's kind of become it's become an insult for the working class in the UK that have an issue with all the immigration going on. And it's a justifiable issue, to be fair. And you guys in the States are now just starting to experience that. We've had it for years. I mean, you're having it on a bigger scale, but you're a bigger place. We've had this for fucking years, and people have just had enough. So there you go. Doctor Who, just white mediocrity, I guess. Funny, because I've seen a whole lot of black mediocrity at the moment. I hate to say it, but yeah, didn't earn it. DEI, that is what it creates. That is genuinely what it creates. So there you go. What do you think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.